everybody, it's Wendy and I am here today with Jesse James Beads, and we are going to make a beautiful necklace using some products from the Magical Mystery Bead Box from May, which was called Treasure Trove. And this set that we are getting ready to use is, this bead from it is from the bead strand in Tide Pool. We're using some of the enamel chain in white. And we're using some of the bead mix in seashells. So we had this gorgeous little Heishi bead strand. No, that's not the bead mix in seashells. I'm sorry, that is the Heishi bead strand, the seashells. So that is what we're using. I'm going to be using a toggle. I have got these spacers. Now these may have come out of the bead mix in seashells, but I wanted to pull out these gold spacers. And I've got a few clamshell covers here, and a few crimp beads. These are size 2 crimp beads. And an eye pin, and I think that's everything that you're gonna need. Oh, I'm sorry, and a piece of bead stringing wire. This is gold, satin gold, it's 19 strand, and I've got about an 8-inch piece here. Okay, so that is everything you're going to need if you want to make the same bracelet. But first of all, we have a fun fact today, and it is, did you know giant pandas have giant appetites? They spend 10 to 16 hours a day eating mostly bamboo. Their throat and stomach have a special lining to protect them from splinters. I thought that was pretty interesting. I've got some bamboo growing outside in pots, and I'm going to plant it in the ground one of these days. All right. Maybe I'll attract some giant pandas. Okay, so this bracelet is pretty simple, but there are a couple things that are kind of important. So this enamel chain, let's take a look at it really quickly. Let me move some of this stuff out because my camera has really been struggling to focus lately. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's probably dropped this phone one too many times. Or something like that, but anyway, it is what it is. So let me get that out of the way. Okay, so if we look at this chain, this enamel chain, you can see here, it has these links, and it is a little tiny loop going in a hole right there. It is hard to see, but there we can see it. So what I've done is I have taken it and I have cut one end to have the little hole, and the other end, I've left the little loop, okay? And these are, I'm gonna tell you how long they are. They are 2.5 inches long, both of these. And I've got them both cut exactly the same. So I have the little loop end here and the hole end here, okay? It's kind of important that you do that because otherwise they're not gonna lay exactly like we want them to lay, because we're gonna do a double strand here. Okay, now our toggle is going to go on one end, and if you look, this is a hole, and they're both the same, laying the same direction, these rings that we're going to be hooking through. So we're going to have to use jump rings hooked this way, up and down, to hook that together, and that'll work fine. This end is going to hook onto this eye pin ring. And for it to hook on there, our jump rings are going to have to lay flat. Okay, that's going to need to turn and they'll have to lay flat. So we'll just have to make sure that all that lays right. Our bead's going to go on here, and then we're going to be using bead stringing wire on the other end of this eye pin down to our clasp. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we're going to go ahead and hook these two pieces of chain to our toggle clasp. Now these are just little, I believe these are 5mm jump rings, and I do hope they'll fit through here. I didn't check that. Probably should have, but they look like they will. Yeah, they do. So we're going to put the first one through, close it up really good. You really want to make sure you get these jump rings closed very well, or they will be falling out off of here, because it's a tiny little, that's a tiny little piece that we've got this jump ring going through. Okay, and we're going to do the second one the same. So just right through there. And right through here beside the other one. And let's go ahead and just make sure it's closed up really good. If you can hear that jump ring click against itself, then you know you've closed it pretty good. Okay, that's looking good there. All right, so here we have our two pieces of chain. Now they are going to kind of overlap each other down here, but that's okay. They probably will at this end too. And we want to make sure they're the same length. It's looking like, why do I have one that looks longer than the other? Well, because I have an extra piece on there. Okay, let me get that off because I did think that I cut these the same length. Obviously. I didn't. So let me make sure, and I'm gonna have to cut it right because, okay, it's this one. And I have to make sure that I get the little loop piece sticking up and not cut. Okay, that should be the same. Yes, that's better. Okay, so what we're gonna do down here is we're going to take our eye pin and our big bead. Okay, and we're just going to make another loop at the other end. Okay, so bend that 90 degrees. Get your round nose pliers. Don't know where mine are. Here they are. And go up and over. Oh, you know what? I'm not making a wrapped loop, am I? No. So just bend 90 degrees. Sorry. I'm making some purse charm dangles for somebody, and Chris and I drive down to Orlando every Sunday for church, and then we have dinner with his family, and the whole way down there I was making these dangles for these purse charms, and that's what's in my head now, is to make a wrap loop. Okay, not doing that. All right, now you do want to make sure that your loops are closed really, really well. So just, you know, make sure that they are really closed up. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our jump ring. Now we could hook this directly onto here, but I think it's going to lay better if we use jump rings this way. So, and you know what? We're going to need more jump rings than what I told you. So just have your jump rings handy. But yeah, you're going to need more than just this 4. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take my jump ring. I'm going to hook it right onto this little loop here. It's on the end of this chain. And I'm going to go right through my little eye pin. Okay, make sure everything's laying flat. You do kind of want to twist. You want these to be laying flat, so if you have to flip that over, just go ahead and do it. And those will, you know, they're going to overlap a little on that end. That's okay. We're going to put this one on. And I am trying to keep it laying flat, so I'm going to try to grab it from this side and hook it right in there, just so that everything doesn't get twisted up. Okay, close it up. And here's what we've got. Okay, I'll just make sure, like I said, that these little loops are closed really, really well. That one doesn't totally seem to be closed up to me. I'm going to squeeze it just a little bit more, make sure. Okay, I guess it is. All right. Now, we are going to do, excuse me, goodness. We're going to do our Heishi strands. And we're going to use these daisy spacers. And all we're going to do on here to make an end is take our little clamshell. We're going to take our crimp bead and put it right on here and just smash it down really good. Okay, so just smash it right on down there to where it's very secure. Then we're going to take this little clamshell, and it's a side fold clamshell, and we're just going to close it right up over top of that. Okay, and you do want to make sure it's closed really well. Now you can throw some glue in there if you want to, but I mean, it's solid in there. I've not had any trouble with these coming undone. Okay, and we're going to do that to this end, and actually I was just going to cut this in half and didn't do it because we need 2 pieces. So just cut it in half. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. So just take our little crimp bead, put it right on, come up to the end and smash it down really good. And we're going to take our little clamshell and put it right on there. Make sure I get it up in there. That's wanting to slide. Trying to pinch it closed as much as I can with my finger, but kept wanting to slide there. Okay, there we go. Just get it closed up real good. Give it a good tug. If, you know, if it budges, put some glue in there or something, but I have not had trouble with that, so there we go. All right. Now these, I'm just going to hook directly onto the loop here because it doesn't really matter how these lay. They're, you know, I wanted the chain to lay flat because of the way that, you know, the enamel, and I want it to be, I want the shape there to show. These don't really matter so much, okay? So put it on there, make sure that your loop is closed really, really well. That's the important thing. Okay. And now we're going to string this. This is up to your own creative control how you want to do it. Now I have to watch my length, okay, because is this not going to... I don't really want to hook those on with jump rings. I think they're going to be okay. All right. So this is up to your own creative control, and I do have to watch my length. That's what I was saying. So right now, I have got a little over 4 inches. So I have to watch because my wrist is kind of small, and I don't like my bracelets to be really loose. So I got to watch, but make sure you measure. And we're just going to put these on. I'm going to put several on at a time, and then I'm going to do a spacer, just like this. And you can do the big spacers, the small spacers, doesn't matter. This is totally how you want to do it. I'm just layering several little shell beads on, and then a spacer. And it will be, by the time we get 2 layers on here of these, they won't match up, even if you know, so you'll have your one here and your one here, and they'll lay kind of, you know, hopefully. I mean, you don't want it to match up. Be my luck, I'd try not to get it to match up and just do it randomly and it would end up matching up, but hopefully not. I don't want it to match up. So I'm just putting like 1 little spacer and then sometimes 2 spacers. I'm not counting how many little hashies I'm doing in between because I just want it to be really random and organic, okay? I'm just doing a few, doing a spacer, using the big spacers and the small ones. Let's see, let's do about 3, another spacer. I just like it to look like there is no real set pattern to this. These ocean themed things, I like the organic look with it. I just think it's prettier and just natural looking. Okay, let's do this guy. Now I do have to watch my length here. Let me see what I've got. Yeah, I'm almost at 7 inches, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and close this end off. Let me do a couple more of these guys just to kind of finish it, make it look a little bit finished. Okay, now I'm just going to do the same thing that I did on the other side. I'm going to take my little crimp bead. These crimp beads are stuck together. It's so bizarre. I don't know why they are. There we go. Take my crimp bead. Well, didn't really need to put it on that one, did I? Let's put it on this one where it belongs. Come on down. I'm going to come up just a tad so I can fit my clamshell on and smash that down. And then I'm going to trim it right here. My cutters are horrible, clearly. They won't even cut through bead stringing wire. It's pretty bad. Alright, and then I'm going to take this little guy here, and sometimes it's easier to do this with your crimping pliers. Sometimes it's not. I'm just going to, there we go. Oh no, I totally missed the, don't do that. Don't miss the crimp. It's important to get it in there. Open that back up a little bit. There we go. Alright, get the crimp in. That's why I scooted it up just a little so I would have room to get it under there. But it is kind of fiddly. Alright, let's do it this way. And you may have to use your pliers to hold it. So, let me use my crimping pliers here. So I'm going to hold it in this one. I'm going to try to pick this up in this other one. See, it has these little grooves, so if you can kind of grab this little clamshell in one of them, and while gravity is pulling down, I'm going to try to slip it on here. And actually, I may do better with my fingers on that, but I'm going to try to hold it with this plier and slip it on. This is a little bit fiddly. I should not have cut the wire yet, but I did. Struggle's real. Okay, let's see if I can get it on there. There we go. Try to close it up while you've got it on there in a good spot. Okay. Then just take your plier and close it tight. Alright, we're good. We got it. That was a little difficult. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. And I'm just going to string it, not exactly the same, but just kind of organic, like I said, just not really paying attention to what I'm doing totally. Putting on a few of these guys. I may pay a little more attention on this side because I do not want it to match up. So, you know, I may have to make sure that I'm... So, if you can see, I'm just going to make sure that I'm kind of not matching them on this side. So, I'm going to take a couple off here and put one of my spacers. And see how that's going to kind of lay in between there? That's kind of what you want, I think. I mean, you know, it's totally a design choice, but that's what I'm going for. Put a few more on. So I almost spent this day and drove over to New Smyrna Beach because there was, obviously we had Alex, the first tropical storm of the season came through, and we didn't get hardly anything from him. I know down in Miami they got like a ton of rain, but we didn't get a whole lot. But I really wanted to drive over to New Smyrna today and look at the shell, you know, see what shells I could find, but I just had too much to do. I didn't get to do it. I'll have to do it next tropical storm or next whatever happens. Next bad weather that comes through, because after the storm, you can really find some good shells sometimes on the beach. But I did not get to go today. So again, just trying to keep these to where they're not. Yeah, I may move him up. Keep them where they're not totally the same. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll do this guy and another one together. And then I think we're about done with this side too. I say this in all of my bracelet videos, but my wrist is so small, I'm always sad that I can't use all the beads that I want to use. You know, I end up having to really limit. Alright, and so you just want to try to make this the same length. So that's pretty close right there. Alright, I might put one more on, one more kind of thick one. Here we go. Whoops. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other. So I'm going to take my crimp, put it all the way down here. Oh my goodness. This only happens on camera, guys, really. Okay, there we go. And I am gonna pull him up a little, like I did the last one, and crimp him down, just so I can get that little clamshell under there. And you know, you really do just have to cut it. I mean, even if you don't want to, you kind of have to, because otherwise it's gonna stick out the top and the clamshell's not gonna close anyway. All right, so let me see if I can, that worked pretty good to hold it with the plier here. If I can hold it from the top with the plier and then kind of slide the clamshell underneath and then, oh, come on now. Can't even get it in my fingers. Okay, slide it underneath and then just kind of grasp it and close it up at the same, in the same sweeping movement, and it didn't work that time. Very, very fiddly. Very fiddly. Try again. So basically, there's no good technique for this. You just have to try. Just keep trying until you get it on there. That's the technique. Okay, let me see if I can get it closed up real quick. It's on there. Nope. It is possible. I know it is because I just did it on the other side, but this is the struggle. This is the struggle. There we go. If you can, oh shoot. If you can get it over and kind of get it closed where it'll at least grip it. Then you're in good shape. And I thought I had it there, but I don't. Let me pause it so y'all don't have to struggle with me. Okay, so I got it, and I'll tell you, the solution to this problem is using the clamshell covers that you load from the bottom and not the side. They would be much easier to do on this. The reason I didn't want to use them is because they're a little bit bigger, and I didn't want to forfeit the space. You know, I wanted to keep, because my wrist is so small anyway. So anyway, but that would be a solution. You could definitely do that. Use the bottom loading clamshell connectors. Okay, now we need a couple of jump rings, the same jump rings that I had. Let me grab a couple more. And we're just going to go ahead and hook both of these onto our toggle bar. Now, one thing you have to be careful with your toggle bar is it going to be able to get through the ring? Does it have enough room? I think this does, but you know, I may hook two of these together. Let's see here. Or I may actually do a ring. You know what? I may put them together on a ring, like this little ring right here, and then hook the toggle bar on, just so I know that it's got enough room to be able to close up behind it. Let me see how this works right here. Yeah, so what I do want to do is I'm going to take this ring right here. I'm going to hook the toggle bar on, and I'm going to close it up, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these two little rings, these two little jump rings, and like we did the other end, I'm going to hook them both to that ring because I just like the way it's going to lay better if I do that. See, like this. I want them to have a little more movement than if I put them on the single ring together. I hope that makes sense. But see, if I attach each one with a jump ring, and I do have a little room to spare, it's a little tight, so I can do this way. And then I'll take this one and hook it right beside it on there, okay? And that's just going to give it a little more movement. I like that a little bit better than hooking them both to the ring. And there it is. So here is our, let me get this guy untangled. There we go. So here it is. So you can wear your bead in the middle. Let me clasp it here. Usually I can get my own toggle clasped. I cannot clasp my own lobster. It just doesn't happen. But the toggle I can usually do. So let me see. Chris just went outside, so I can't have him do it for me. He's AWOL at the moment. Oh, crap. Usually I can. Usually I can. One-handedly clasp my toggle. There we go. I think I got it now. And see, this is what I mean. You want to make sure that you can get this toggle ring up all the way over the bar. So it does need some room behind it, you know. And I can't seem to get it. Maybe I need to put one more jump ring on there. Do I have it that tight? I like them tight. I just don't like them. I'll have to be able to, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's actually perfect. I like them like this, so they're not going to move and flop around on me. I could add one more jump ring just to make it easier to get on, but normally Chris is around, so I can just commandeer him. But anyway, here it is. I think it turned out really cute. I love these beads. They are so pretty. And this enamel chain, I mean, Jesse James beads, they just hit it out of the park with the uniqueness. And this Magical Mystery Bead Box this month was so, so beautiful. So it is kind of tight. I may add one more ring just because it's a little bit tight even for me. And I like them tight, but let me do that. I'm going to add one more ring. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And you like the style bracelet. I love it. I like anything ocean, beach themed, you know, all that. So this box was really awesome. If you're interested in subscribing to the Magical Mystery Bead Box, I will put a link in the description box below the video. It is an affiliate link. So if you use it, I do get a small commission, but it doesn't cost you anymore. And it just helps my channel a whole lot. So I appreciate it if you guys do use that. Thank you very much. But let me get this back on here, and I will show you this bracelet one more time. There we go. Yeah, that might be a little bit better. I like them tight, but not quite that tight. Okay, so here it is. I think it turned out really pretty. I just love these colors, this enamel, this white enamel, this beautiful shell, and the shell mixed with the gold. So, so pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. It really helps me on YouTube if you're subscribed, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. When you subscribe, if you ring the little bell up in this the top, or I think it's by the subscribe button. If you ring the little bell, then it'll notify you when I upload, because I am going to do a pair of earrings to match this as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!